Hey Mike, it's me Ian, and in today's video I'm looking at this. This is Hitcher in the Dark from 1989. And this is a very interesting film. It's an Italian production. So, well, yes, an Italian film. What is this going to be about? Well, it's got that, I suppose you could describe it, psychological slasher elements, all that kind of thing in the that we consider horror as well. Yes, it's 95 minutes long, and Rotten Tomatoes give it 10%. Oh yeah, but there's only one reviewer apparently they're basing that on. I think at the time a lot of critics really did dismiss it anyhow. It's not been really fondly remembered, but I think it's kind of gained a newer life and more of a cult following, if you want to put it in that way, and now it's seen for what it is, and that's what you should do, just enjoy it for what it is, and it's certainly got that appeal, very much so. Now, the screenplay is by Olga Pia, I think that's how you pronounce it. She is in fact married to Umberto Lenzi, who is the director, and it's based on his story. Yes, they were quite a partnership together. The other important thing is it's produced by Joe D'Amato, who was the one who did all sorts of genres and why across in Italian cinema. What a massive CV of work he's got. But he became more notoriously known for his horror and erotica, or as you might say, more porn kind of films. Yes. But he's got a massive history of films, and he was a producer of this. Yes. So it is, I said, directed by Umberto Lenzi. Now, he's got an interesting filmography. I think ones that do stand out that are notoriously. He's got Eaten Alive, 1980. Then he's got, yes, Cannibal Ferox from 1981. Nightmare Beach, 1989. Oh, you've got to love all these titles, don't you? And then he's got Demoni 3, or it was also known as Black Demons. Now, that's a bit later, 1991. And that apparently was made in Brazil. He went over there, and he really considered it one of his better works. Yes, but yeah, it's interesting. Very interesting. So, let's get into the cast. The cast isn't very big because this is a low-budget film, and it really is low budget. We've got Joe Ballo playing Mark, who is the psychotic killer, if you want to put it like that. Now, films that he's been in, there's a lot, ones that stand out anyhow. Monstrosity from 1987, Moonstalker 1989, and yes, well, I'll call it Black Demons 1991. So he must have liked him. He got him in that film again. Yes, but to be fair, I think he doesn't do a bad job in this. It's an interesting role to play, and he doesn't do a bad job. He doesn't. And so, with his shades on and whatever, he looks quite cool sometimes. And the lethal killer bits that he does, yeah. So yeah, that's the sort of lead actor, and the lead actress is Josie Blissett, who plays Daniela. And the one major feature film that she is in is The Doors, Oliver Stone's film starring Val Kilmer. That's from 1991. And I don't know this, but in America, it must have been, I think, quite a big TV series, Melrose Place, which ran from 1992 to 1999. She was in that, and I think had quite a leading role in it. And then, of course, she's just in lots of TV episodes, TV films. That's her CV. Yes. Yeah, she's interesting as well in this. I don't think she does a bad job at all, really. And then I've just got really mentioned the other actor who plays another sort of major role, I suppose, in it. Jason Saucier. Saucier? You can pronounce it like that. He plays Kevin, who's like the sort of boyfriend of Daniela. Now, he was in a film called The Crawler, 1991. No, 1990, sorry. And then he was in a film, now this is interesting, he was in a film called Whore, about 1991, which was a Ken Russell film, yeah. I think that has quite a bit of notoriety as well. I think it's the study of a prostitute's working day, something like that. But it has certain notoriety. But Ken Russell is quite a, renowned director. And then if you look, he's just in a lot of TV series and TV movies, just a lot of that. And then there's some very small minor parts in there, very, very minor, But it was filmed in America, the locations, Norfolk, Virginia, and Richmond, Virginia, and Virginia Beach in Virginia. Yes, well, there you are. So that makes sense, doesn't it? But the locations are good. These always are well put into the films and really add to the quality of the film, actually. When you're on such a low budget, just go out there and start shooting, which they did. Sorry about that. Did you hear that? Right. Now, let me talk about what this film is about. It centers on Mark, who is, well, he's a bit disturbed, as they might say. In fact, he's very disturbed, and he's got a lot of issues. He just happens to be a psychopath as well, just thrown in. And, he seems to have this sexual desires for his dead mother. Yes, doesn't that remind you of certain other things about mothers and what have you, context? But yeah, he's got that complex. And he drives around in his rich father's, I think it's his camper van, and he doesn't like his rich father. I think he just uses him, basically. And he's going round, driving around and seeking out females that hitch into the camper. And he just fulfills his fantasies with them and kills them. That's what he does. But then he comes across Daniela. Oh, Daniela, who hitches a lift, and he suddenly thinks, wow, she looks like my mum, and he's all excited, and he shows a picture, and you think, oh, I don't think she looks that much like his mum, but hey, that's how he sees her. Now, when we first have seen Daniela, she has like this row with a boyfriend, and she just escapes away. And then the other crucial part of the film is that Kevin, who was that boyfriend who she rows with, suddenly becomes really quite worried about her because she's disappeared, and he wants to find out about her, and he starts investigating, and he starts thinking, asking people, and this camper van is mentioned, and he thinks, oh, just like you do, I'll go and look for all these camper vans. So that's what he does, and that's his part in the story, which you can see is inevitably going to end in a certain way. And it does, but that's sort of another drama bit going on. And of course, the story unfolds, and he's, just doing what he does, and he's totally obsessed with her. Totally obsessed, but he's dangerously obsessed, as we see. And the film, you can really expect, the inevitable with this film. I do actually think the ending is very good. Apparently, director Lenzi, he wanted a darker ending to it, but I rather like this one, that it works out, quite well. So what's my overall impression, really? It's obviously he's influenced by, like they are, all these American films, also, Psycho immediately comes into mind, and the Hitcher, of course. This is what the Italians were good at. Look at these films and then rip them off, if you want to call it, but put their own stamp on it, and he does that quite successfully. One thing I would say, looking at the cover and how I've described it, it isn't that gory. Really, it isn't that gory, but I found it interesting on the extras, how they film a low budget film, because his daughter was involved in the filming. Well, it seems to be a family thing, and there's this image of them all the people involved in the cramped conditions of the camper van, filming inside there for all these various scenes. Imagine that, and the actors having to perform. So when I look at that, I think they're actually actors under these, it must have been really quite pressurized circumstances, and they have to get the film done pretty quick. There's no messing, because everything's dictated by budget. So just, I think they've done a good job, but don't expect, it's not going to be an Argento film. I don't think you got to think like that. It's but it is enjoyable, and it's not bad. It isn't bad film. I enjoyed it, and it's a film that I can just put on. It's almost like a film that you could, fancy watching that. You can just watch it, and enjoy it for that. Which you can't say further than that, really, can you? A film that you can just put on and enjoy, and I'll certainly watch it again. And I really did enjoy it, because, as I say, it doesn't. It's a film that knows what it is, really. He may have had sort of pretensions in his career of what he wanted to do, but I think it works well. And I'm really pleased it's in my collection, and that I was able to pick it up, as you probably saw on the sale. So here's one last look. That's a good cover as well, and I do like the other one, which is there, has been, but yeah, this is great, and the extras and the booklet, you can't really argue with that. I always love a lot of good extras, and it really is good. So that's my review. And hope you've enjoyed it. And yeah, so if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, and then we'll let you know when I produce these videos. And also look at the playlist, see what you think about the films I've reviewed, and just what the channel's about. Also, if you do like this video, please give it a like. It pushes it out onto YouTube, and hopefully other people then might get a chance to try it out, and perhaps they like it, perhaps they don't. I don't know. And also, if you've got any comments, please put your comments down. I love to read your comments. I always answer your comments. And I say all cost note, which nowadays ain't bad, is it? Aye, absolute cost note. By gum. So that's it. All I gotta say is, I'll see thee again.